Uh, Good morning, folks. So today in this video, we'll just talking about we'll just move towards our agenda first, and we'll just try to understand that in this video first, and you will get overall what will be happening and what the things you'll be able to understand throughout this video. Okay, so we'll just not waste time and we'll just move towards sharing a screen and we'll just uh, discuss over there. Okay. Okay. All right. So now, first of all, we need to understand about now in this video, what will be our today's agenda basically, right? So first we have to understand what will be the today's agenda and what is the particular topic we'll be going to discuss today in this video basically. Okay, so whatever today's topic is about, we'll just start to list out, we'll just try to focus the two topics, three topics here. Okay, so that will be very detailed discussion will be happening and healthy discussion will be happening. So first of all, the first thing we will be going to discuss about that is like DIAG method in NumPy. Okay, DIAG diagonal method, and after that we'll just move towards an empty method, okay, which is there in NumPy library. Then after that we'll just move towards another library that is nothing but what a key differences. Okay, what is the key differences between the differences between zeros method, okay, zeros method and empty method. Okay, that two things will be going to understand that particularly. Okay, after that we'll just move towards like time, how much time it is taking to execute the writing the code. Okay, we can how much time will take to run zeros method, to run zeros method and empty method. Okay, somewhat we'll be calling it as time complexity. So we'll not go into detail about like what is the time complexity, what is the maths behind that, but we'll just in short we'll understand like basic understanding, we'll just understand that what is this thing particularly about, how much time it is taking. Okay, so zeros method and empty method basically we're just going to discuss about that. Okay, this is overall workflow will be there in today's part actually. In today's video will be just focusing about. Okay, so now we'll just rolling our into. Okay, so this is Tech with Aakash channel, and we'll just focus about learning new methods, new technology related videos. Okay, we'll be mainly focusing about data science and development related videos basically. Okay, this is all about the intro about our channel. Okay, now we'll just focus about what is this things we'll be going to learn about. Like one by one, we'll just focus about the things now. Okay, so that will find so cool now. Okay, we'll just try to understand first what is a DIAG method, what is an empty method. Okay, what is a DIEG method? What is the empty method and key differences between zero and empty method? Then we'll just try to understand that first. One by one, what the method will be going to do, we'll just start understanding one by one now. Okay, one by one, we'll be going to discuss about it. Okay, one by one, we'll start understand this particularly. Okay, one by one, we'll start to understand that. Okay. So now understand. Now we'll just take one by one now. Okay. So we'll just take a new page here. Okay, we'll start understanding now. So in this, like first thing we are discussing is like DIAG method, right? So the first thing, whenever from the previous two videos, I'm telling one thing only, like what is the main objective, right? Some comes to your mind as like whenever we are using any method, like what is the objective of that function actually? Like whenever the function has been creating, right? Whenever we are creating something, so there will be a reason behind that, right? So what is an objective of that particular function now? Reason. So first this particular it will come to our mind actually. Now, whenever I'm telling the diagonal, okay, so what particularly we are doing basically in this particularly mean, we are extracting the diagonal array, okay. We are extracting the diagonal or we are constructing the diagonal array, okay. We are constructing a diagonal array. We are constructing an diagonal array. So in the previous video, we discussed about the diagonals, right? Whatever the things will be there, we understood what is this particular diagonal array is about now. So this diagonal array, what it will be going to do is basically, now let's say in this, okay, zeroth index, what will be the diagonal? Okay, totally you will be understanding, it will be going to create a diagonal array for you. So whenever, so this particular thing, what is the reason behind that we understood. So what it will be going to mean object of a diagonal is that it will be going to construct a diagonal array. Okay, this thing we understood, right? So we understood that what is the purpose about it now. Now the next thing we need to understand about how we can implement. So second thing is, second steps we have to understand about the parameters. Parameters is nothing but an input, right? So what are the inputs that we have to provide this particular function, right? So what will be going to do? What will be the parameters for this now? One is you have to provide an array. Okay. What it will be going to tell that is you have to at least provide an array. Okay, you have to provide at least an array here. Okay, whenever you are considering something, okay, you're considering something actually, right? You will be making some array or some of the range values will be giving to you here. So one thing is, it is we have to, whenever we are using something, we have to tell that which library, right? Which module. NP dot a method, right? DIAG, and here you have to tell whatever the array you have taken here, right? Array name. That is nothing but what? Array which you have already taken. Then second thing is you have to specify the key value here. Let's say if you are telling that k equal to 0, so that particular you will be trying to extract the array, right? So whatever the index will start with 0, right? So diagonal elements, what will be there? See here. Let's say this is a matrix now, right? See here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So now this will be a 0 index, right? And at the 0th index, it is the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So now 0 and 4th element will be there, right? So this particular will be considered as a diagonal now, right? Understand? So this is a particular thing now. We'll just start to understand with it with an example now. Third steps will be taking an example for the DIG method. Okay, we'll just take an example so that you will understand it clearly now. Okay, we'll take an example. Okay. So what we'll be going to do, we'll just start our terminal and we'll just start to understand this particular method one by one. Okay. So, so what I'll be going to do is I want to tell that I want a particular value here. Okay. We'll just start, take first a terminal first, then we'll just start understand that. Okay. It is very simple, folks. Whenever you are using in Ubuntu, understand, keep in mind that you have to just write the commands here. Jupyter hyphen notebook. I'll just open that and it will just open the this particular notebook in browser. Okay. This is our Jupyter notebook now. Okay, so what I'll be going to do is basically about here is, so I'll just select the desktop here. I will select the zeros methods, okay, which we have taken here. We already taken the same notebook which we have taken, right? So we'll just start with that itself now. Okay, so this is the method. This is we have taken actually. Okay, I method also we discussed, identity also we have discussed. Next thing is we have to discuss about now a DIAG method. Okay, DIAG method. It is not a capital, folks. Okay, it is a small d here. Okay, now what we'll be going to do is we'll just try to import the library here. I don't want to execute upper one. Okay, I will just try to import this as np. Okay, now I will take another variable here. Okay, h here. In our case, I'm taking it as here for using anything as I told you earlier, right? So we have to use a np, right? So what I'll be going to write, np dot a range. Okay, a range. I'll be not providing the manual hard-coded values. I'll be telling that I wanted the 1 to 10. And what I'm telling that I want in the dimension. So what I'll be going to do, I'll be reshaping, right? What I'll be going to do, I'll be reshaping into a 3 cross 3 matrix. Understood? So it is not working. So I will just use here reshape of 3, 3. Okay, somewhat we are giving a mistake here. Okay, np dot range 1 to 10 dot reshape 3, 3. See, now this thing is we have executed now. So what I'll be going to do here is I will just print the function here. Okay, here I will be using the f parameter here. It is nothing but it will be formatting basically for nothing. It will be providing in particular format. Okay, what I'll be going to write is basically I will be telling that I want the original 2D array, right? Original 2D array. I will just type for the like printing purpose. I am writing here uh, original original 2D array. Then I will just write it here. Okay, original 2D array, and I will just tell that something like this. Okay, Nothing is there. And I will just provide it here. H here. H is my variable, right? So I will be telling that. Okay. Now this thing is done. Now I want to print a zero the diagonal, right? So I want to extract that, as I told you earlier, right? So what we are doing to do, we are just extracting that element now. We are constructing an array or we are extracting that particularly a diagonal. No, I will just, what I'll be going to write is element, I'll just write it, element, element, element present, present at zero diagonal. Zero diagonal. So what I'll be going to write? So this particular thing, what it will be going to do is basically it will going to replace and it will be going to extract that particular value. So what I am going to do here? So I am going to provide here np dot diag. Okay, that is a diagonal thing, and I will just provide the array here. In this particular thing, what is an array here? H. H, the variable which we have taken. Now, second thing, we are just providing the diagonal element that we want to extract it. So what I'll be going to write is zero diagonal element that I want to extract. So I will just write it like this actually. Okay. So we'll just try to execute and we'll just try to understand that particularly. See here. So now, so element present at zero the diagonal. So original 2D array. Okay. Okay, this is a 2D array, right? So if you want to confirm which type of an array is basically is about, you can just check it about h dot end. Okay, so if you are in confusion, you will be understanding that basically. So you have to confirm it. If you want, if you are in confusion state, you can just write it like this. Okay, so this is a 2-dimension, right? So in this 2-dimension array, which are the diagonal elements in this particularly zeroth? Okay, zeroth diagonal. What are the diagonal elements are there in this particularly? If we are starting from this is a particular thing now. Now, if I'm just copying and pasting here, see, I will be not writing the same thing. I will just not writing the wasting my time. So what I'll be going to write is here. I'll just try to change the parameter here. Okay, for the first diagonal element, what will be the diagonal elements for that? If I'm just starting from the one, okay, what are the elements that are comes to a first diagonal elements? See now, you will understand it fully. See, if I'm just selecting as a one, okay, so which particular elements comes into a diagonal here? 2 and 6, right? Right? So this is a particular thing. Now, this particular we will be able to construct a diagonal elements to extract that we are doing basically. Okay, so see, so this I hope you get it right. So this is a particular thing is about actually, right? So this is a particular purpose of a DIAG method. It is nothing but a diagonal elements actually. If I'm just writing here, what are the diagonal elements at second position? Okay, I'll just write it, change the k value here. What we are done doing basically, k value I'm just extracting here. See, you will be getting only the 3. 3 is a diagonal in this case. Okay, nothing element is diagonal here, right? 3 here. Now if I'm just right, so as I told you earlier, folks, okay, -1, -2, all the things is the same. Like I function, what we are doing, right? That is only here it is repeating. Now what I am doing is -1, -2, and -3 basically. Okay, -1. So I'll just write it here, -1 here. The same thing basically, folks. Nothing is different here. So what if you have not watched the I function video, folks, you can just watch the second, like previous video. In that video, how completely explained about like what are the methods of ones, eyes, full, and identity matrix. So if you have not watched the video, you will be not able to understand this particular thing. Okay, you will get a clear understanding about it. All the three methods I have discussed in the one video itself. Okay, see here. So in the -1 diagonal, so -1 is nothing but what? See here. In this diagonal, so which are the diagonal elements it is telling? Okay. If I'm just selecting -1, okay, this one. So 4 and 8 will be a diagonal. Okay. Now if I'm just selecting -2, what will be the diagonal basically, folks? It will be a 7 itself, right? This will be a 0, right? This will be a 0. This is a 0, which we have retrieved. This was a diagonal elements, we got it, right? So when was we are doing that first? So 2 and 6 was a diagonal. If we are selecting as the two diagonal elements, the 3 was a diagonal element, right? So if I am selecting as a -1, 4 and 8 was a diagonal, right? If I'm selecting as a -2, right? So it will be selecting 7 as a main diagonal, right? So same thing, same thing. I will just try to execute. I am not writing in the like in the air actually, folks. So whatever the output you will be getting, you will be understanding clearly. See? So if I'm writing here -2, see, the thing is very clear here about it, right? -2. See, you will be getting here 7. Now if I'm writing the minus like 3, you will be not getting any diagonal elements here, right? So if I'm just writing here -3 and I'm writing here -3 here, -3, then see here, empty, right? Understood? So overall is about like diagonal elements about like this actually. Okay, this was about the diagonal elements. Folks, if you want to check the documentation of diagonal elements, what you can do is you can just switch over this DIAG, and if you hit the shift tab, you will be able to get what are the parameters is available for that. Okay. I guess it is a print function it is getting actually. So what we'll be going to do is you can just write it np.diag. Okay. Here if you just write it diag, if you hit the shift tab, you will get the clear documentation about it. So what we're going to tell that is diagonal basically about, right? So what we'll be going to do basically is about that it will going to give you a DIAG method actually. See here, right? So what it will be going to do, it will be extract the diagonal. Okay, in short, you understand very clearly that it will be giving you and extracting the particular diagonal. Which are the diagonal elements are there? Basically, to extract that, this is a particular method basically. Okay, now we'll just not waste our time and we'll just move towards another method and we'll just start to understand that particularly. I hope everyone understood, right? So what I'll be going to do is I'll just create another page, then just start to understand the second method now. Right? So this is was about like uh, this was about diagonal method. Okay. Now what we'll be going to do is we'll just start to understand another method that is nothing but an empty method. Okay. Okay, folks. So now the next method is we will be going to talk about, that is empty method. Okay. We'll just talk about now empty method. Okay. We'll just try to talk about empty method. Okay. We'll just try to talk about the empty method now. Now, this empty method is nothing but, folks, here, empty method, from the method itself, you will be able to understand that. So what it will be going to do, first thing, any method in the Numpy library, it will return a new array, right? Right? It will return a new array. Return a new array. First thing. Second thing is, what it will be going to give is, like, it will be not generating it with whatever you are understanding is that first thing you have to give the particularly a shape of an array, right? So if I'm, let us suppose if I'm giving the 3, 3, okay, it will be giving you without initializing the entries. So let's say some entries you will be getting like 0.000 something. Okay, you are telling that something like this, right? 0.00 something about it will be going to give you. Okay, so we'll just start to understand. Okay, when I will be telling about, okay, then only you will be understanding what is this particularly empty method is for going to do basically. Now we'll just, after that we'll just start, we will wind up this session with the differences between empty and zeros. Okay, so you will be understanding clearly now. Will, so uh, you will be understanding clearly when we are talking about the empty method. Okay. Okay. All right, folks. So we'll just try to understand in the this particularly now. So you have understood about the diagonal method, this particular thing. Okay. So we'll just try to understand. Okay. So what I'll be going to do is I will be taking another variable here, I, which is equal to np dot empty. Right. So empty, what parameters it will be going to take? We have to just first understand that particularly. Right. What parameters it is going to take is here the shape. The shape is nothing but what? What shape it will be going to tell you? The int or a tuple of int means what? It will be going to talk about like what is the shape of an empty array. Okay. Like whatever you are writing in array format, right? You will be telling that in what dimension that you want. Right. So this order and like this is optional part. So what will be going to return? This particular thing, right? See, now we'll understand with an example now. np.empty, if I'm writing like this, if I'm not telling anything here, so what it is telling that you have to, at least you have to represent some format here, right? See here. Now if I'm just providing here with 3, 2, 3, will it will be acceptable or not? We'll just try to see. So it is telling that cannot interpret p, right? So whenever you are doing that, the number of rows and number of columns should be the same. It is telling that actually. I equal to np dot empty cannot interpret 3. See. Just a minute, folks. np dot empty Yeah, here we are doing the mistake, folks. Okay, empty is one method, right? We are telling that, see here, empty is one method. Inside that, we are giving the shape of an array, right? That is the mistake we are doing here. See, right? See. Now, if I'm just executing this, and if we are just printing this I value here, see. So you are getting here, right? 3 comma 3 here. So what you are getting here empty with the three values, it is telling that for 9.9 something value, right? And some values you are getting it. See, whenever you are calling this empty array, right? So what it will understand one thing. This one note you have to keep in mind. Like whenever you are creating a NumPy empty array, it will be going to create a dummy arrays here for you. Okay, it will be going to create in that 3 dimension, 3 cross 3, right? 2 dimension that you have represented here. So like this is a particular thing. Like time required to create an empty array is very less, while zeros are while we are comparing with the zeros. Okay, why? Because it is machine specific, right? So whatever the dummy array that is going to create, it is machine specific. That what is the difference? Key differences basically. So we have to understand that in the previous itself I have told. So there is a no default value in C language, right? So if value is initialized, it will be assigned with the some garbage value. But generally active action, what it will be going to do, it will going to create a dummy values for an array, given array. Like, so third thing is the time required to execute this particular code will be very less compared to zeros. Okay, that is a particularly. So if we required a array with zeros, then we should go with the zeros method. Okay. Whenever if we never worried about the data, then we have to require with the empty array for future purpose. So then we should go for empty method. But you will understand when we'll try to understand correlate the things uh, with the project level. Okay. Note we another thing we have to keep in mind, that is like whenever we are talking about, see here, NumPy is nothing but a basic data type, right? So basic things you will be going to discuss in the NumPy now. In the NumPy, what you are going to discuss is basically about basic data type, how the data is going to work basically. Basic data type you are understanding here. Okay, in the NumPy library. Now, if you want to go beyond that, like advanced kind of a thing, if you want to learn about it, then we have to understand about SciPy library. Okay, it is an some kind you can tell as like it is an advanced NumPy or NumPy, you can whatever you can call it as. Okay, this SciPy library only it will be having an advanced kind of a mathematical computation, something related to stats part. Like implementation, it is available in SciPy library. And uh, like you will be understanding more in detail, and another data type that is like wonderful library, now and then we'll be just implementing this into the projects. So this is very important, folks. Okay, this library pandas, then visualization libraries will just going walk you through about it. Okay, this library is very important and very keep in mind the things. Okay, matplotlib. Okay, this particular library is very, very important. Okay, whatever we after the numpy will going to move towards, if the time passes, we'll just explore about the SkyPy folks. Okay, after that we'll just move towards the pandas. Okay, after that we'll just move towards the visualization. Okay, matplotlib, Seaborn, and Plotly library. These three libraries are very popular and very important to understand as a data science enthusiast folks. Okay, Seaborn and Plotly. So these are the things to visualize and explore the data, that is very, very important. Okay, this visualization library is very important. Okay, understood. These are the things will be there. Now, this was about like what is an empty will going to do and rest of the things. Now, like you have come across in the next video, we'll just try to talk about like how this random module will be going to work with respect to the integer. Okay, random module with respect to an integer. Okay, if we are telling it as a 10 random values, from this 10 random values, it will be going to choose. Okay, any values it will be going to choose. Okay, if you trying to tell that 1 to 10, in that 10 values, random integer value it will be going to take. Okay, understood, right? So this is going to, we will work about with different dimensions, rest of the things. Then we'll just try to understand like how we can convert a data type. And another thing you will be understanding how we can convert one type of data to another, one D type to another D type. Understand this particular thing. We'll just try to understand that as well. Now, in the next video, we'll just try to understand random module, convert one D type to another data type. D type is nothing but one type data type to another data type. Then we'll just start to understand another thing is these two things also we will be understanding. Okay, it will be a 30 minutes video. I will just try to upload that particular thing folks, so you will get understanding, at least understand pretty understanding about it. So this was about it. And the next thing is we'll just try to understand, third thing is I will try to understand with respect to the NumPy library, what is this particularly uniform distribution? Okay, in the NumPy library, what is a uniform distribution and normal distribution? Okay, what is a uniform distribution versus normal distribution? Okay, these two things will be tried to understand at the basic level, and then we'll just try to understand with respect to the programming perspective. Okay, this will be the overall workflow in the next video folks. Okay, we will be focusing about random module. After that we'll just try to understand convert one data type to another data type, that is nothing but as type. Okay, as type we'll just try to understand that particular thing. Now in the programming related, that particularly we'll just try to with respect to the programming, just try to explore that particularly. Okay, and uniform and normal distribution we'll just try to understand. And after that we'll just try to understand about the rand module. Okay, rand method will just try to focus. Okay, like there are several videos that I want to discuss about it. If you show more interest and if you just show more into it, so I will just explore more things. I will make more video and detailed video for this basically. Okay, so after that we'll just try to use a random module. Then we'll just try to understand uniform method, and pretty videos will be just try to explore that. There are several methods we'll just try to focus about. Normal method will just try to focus. that's it about this video, folks. So in the next video, we'll just try to explore more of the things. Okay. So what whenever the programming is made, right, data science, it is related to the like maths part. So I will make it as very simple, okay, layman terms, so that you will understand overall flow about it. Okay. If you want about development related videos like related to the Python, you can just try to uh, comment down in the chat section box. So which particular video you will like the most, I will just make a video that particular. Okay. So this was about the uh, in today's video. Okay, so what I can suggest is try to learn the things. If you are not able to get it, you can just try to comment down in the chat section. I will personally solve your doubts. Okay, so that's all about this video, folks. If you like this channel, you can just subscribe to my channel and you can just share with your friends. You can just share with your friends. Okay, share with your friends, and they also can watch the videos, right? They can also benefit from that, so they can learn out the most. And happy learning, folks. Okay, so that is only a thing which can expect to. So I have noticed that so many viewers are watching my video but not subscribing to my channel. Okay, just not why you are it is why you are taking like that. Okay, you will be not having any charges for that to clicking on the subscribe button. You can just click on subscribe button below, folks, so you will be able to get more notification towards this particularly. Okay, thank you, folks. Thanks a lot to watching this particular video. uh, Keep learning, stay safe, stay healthy, folks. Thank you. Thanks.